Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Marketing 101 for chiropractors. A very special guest this week, Dr. Jason from Chiro Nutraceuticals, and good friend here, local friend of
Yes.
mine in Florida. And we're going to be talking about laterals and building on laterals, but specifically one that's been very successful for me, one that I preach to other chiropractors, the weight loss program.
Yeah.
It's great. Tell us about what you do. Tell us a little bit about you, where you're at.
Sure. So thank you, Dr. Enrico, Dr. Jason Strodeheid. I am, as it says below my name, I guess that's up there. I'm the founder and CEO of Chiro Nutraceutical. Most chiropractors have never heard of Chiro Nutraceutical, but they've heard of our flagship product, which is ChiroThin. A lot of people think our company's ChiroThin. So just Enrico, like everybody else, I am a chiropractor, second generation, actually. I think I was like the sixth in my family. I think we've got like 8 or 9 now. Had a couple of big practices in the St. Louis, Missouri area. Started this little company called ChiroThin, or Chiro Nutraceutical, back in 2010, and it grew and it grew and it grew. Basically, when we started it, it was really just trying to help my patients have a higher degree of health. I saw the results. My buddies started going, what are you doing with this? Some prompting by God, to be very honest with you, on that this is the course that we needed to take. Took the company, started it, and it grew. And basically what it is since we started in June of 2010, as of 2011, and to this day, we are the largest, or the number one chiropractor supervised weight loss protocol in North America. And it happened very rapidly. And I think, going along the whole idea of laterals, right? Like when you look at, one of the reasons it's been so effective is, we really can boil it down as like, it's a separate business model, but it fits so perfectly with what chiropractors are already doing in their practices. I don't know your audience, but I don't know if they're the triangle of health, or if they're a 3 T's, or whatever they are, right? Mm-hmm. But if there's some core agreement amongst chiropractors, Enrico, that it's a physical, chemical, and emotional stress, or it's traumas, thoughts, and toxins, and the body's ability to adapt or maladapt to those forces. What I told people from the very beginning was, weight loss, whether you realize or not, first of all, it's not chiropractic. So let's not confuse the messaging. Let's keep it separate, right? Mm-hmm. Let's keep the messaging. Chiropractic is chiropractic. Weight loss is weight loss. But the two go together like sushi and wasabi. And because there's so much research out there when it comes to people that are overweight or obese having more physical stress, like we know that, right? There's tons, like irrefutable research out there on people that are overweight or obese, or the higher your BMI, the more pro-inflammatory cytokines your body produces, and it reduces the anti-inflammatory cytokines. So as you lower adipose in people, it's reducing systemic inflammation. It's reducing the chemicals that produce systemic inflammation in the form of, like, main ones are like IL-6, interleukin 6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha, if anybody wants to geek out with me for a little bit. But then you increase, as you lose weight, you increase IL-10, interleukin 10, which is a cell signaling anti-inflammatory protein. So we can do that. So it fits perfectly with it. The other thing is because it does fit so perfectly, like, I mean, even before, Enrico, before you were doing weight loss in your practice, like, if you look at the people that were coming into your office, we know statistics are statistics, like 60, 70% of them are overweight or obese.
Yeah.
Right. And those people are harder to get better. Right. And if you do get them better, they're more likely, if any chiropractors, like I had a wellness care practice, like, they're not going to hold their adjustments as long. As I always said, when we started this company, one of my very, very good friends accused me of ruining chiropractic because our company's product was ChiroThin and had to do with weight loss. But what I told him was, if you really believe what you're saying from a chiropractic model, physical, chemical, emotional stress, and long-term health and wellness, the research is out there, and we all know that they're complicating factors. So we should have something that we can do for people. Now, from a lateral perspective, right? Basically, The market, and these aren't my stats. This is Gallup organization. So, we know that pre-COVID, 60 to 70% of the population was overweight or obese. Gallup organization did a very large survey, and they found that 51% of US adults want to lose weight on any given day. 29% of US adults are actively doing something to try to lose weight on any given day, right? So when we talk about business opportunity, whether it's a standalone business, like a true lateralization of what's going on in your office, like full marketing campaigns and everything, right? This is marketing 101.
Yeah.
Like there's a huge market for it. But then the other flip side of that is the people that are, the new patients that are already coming into a chiropractic practice, or your existing patient, your existing active patients, or your 5,000 to 7,000 email database of people that already trusted you enough and like you enough to trust you with their health and give you their hard-earned money. 51% of everybody on that list today wants to lose weight. 51% of everybody that's on that list tomorrow wants to lose weight. And the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. And when you look at that volume of people compared to the percentage of people that see a chiropractor.
Yes, I was just going to say that. I mean,
right?
those numbers are significantly bigger than what chiropractic is attracting to the 8 or 9 or 12, whatever stats you want to look at, 12% of the population that's looking to maybe use a chiropractor. So the numbers are there. Great points about, the program and lateralization on that. But really, from my perspective, for me, it was, doing it just randomly at a seminar. Chris, I ran into him. He's like, you should do this. Like, I'll coach you. Let's do it. And in 6 weeks to lose 30 pounds. I mean, for me, 32, I think it was. I was like, holy, that was super easy because it was so short. So the program worked. And then, like you said, my patients that are over 300 pounds coming in with knee pain and hip pain, gently before being introduced to you guys, I wouldn't touch that. It's kind of rude to bring that up to patients, but it is the truth. And I realized I was disservicing them by not talking about it. So after I got through it, I'm like, hey, Tom, you know what? Do you think maybe if you were 80 pounds lighter, a lot of this stuff wouldn't? And to cut to the chase, the answer is yes. And these patients become champions of the program. I mean, they're out there telling everyone about this. So it is a smart lateral just because of how it fits with chiro. So anyone giving you a hard time saying you're infringing on chiropractors and you're not in the triangle is ridiculous. We're talking about lateralizations. So the chiropractors that are listening to these podcasts and are interested in this, it's because you're at a point maybe like I was where you're like, the volume's there. I'm helping as many people as I possibly can without hurting myself. I've got an associate. I've got another associate. And I've got another associate. And you're like, where do we go with this? You're probably in the boat to call Jason and be like, well, instead of hiring an associate, let's hire a weight loss coach. Let's hire another CA that you can train to help you run this. So let's get into how maybe a lateral can work, because this is where chiropractors fail, is that they're like, let's do it. And then nothing happens.
Well, I refer to it as God. I mean, I had the same problem when I was in practice to a degree, right? It was, I call it next shiny object syndrome.
Right.
I was a master at implementing everything 60% of the way. Right. It's like, it is what it is. Until I put somebody in my office, I hired, because I realized I was my own worst enemy with that stuff. Right. So I realized that I needed to hire for me. I needed to hire and bring on or promote somebody within my organization to what I called the implementation director. Like and it was the person that was like, when you would give them something, you knew it would be done, and you knew it would be done properly and the way the SOP laid it out. Right. And when I did that, it was like she would hold me accountable. Her name was Dawn. God bless her. I love Dawn. I still talk to her, even though I sold my practice 7 years ago. I still text with Dawn. But she made sure if it was a new front desk procedure or therapy or me or whatever, she was like, you got to do this. So how it works is, our program, we've been able through the years to crowdsource so much data So we've got over right now, Enrico, we've got over 1,600 Chirothin offices using Chirothin in the United States. We call them Chirothin offices. We've had over 250,000 patients go through the protocol. We have a 573 participant study that was done so that we can look at people and go, these are the average results, right? But from an implementation perspective, when I started the company, everything that I loved about companies I dealt with, I kept, and everything that that I hated about companies that I dealt with in practice, I vowed never to do any of it. So like when I say we provide, and I mean, you know firsthand, Enrico, I mean, when we say we provide everything that you need to learn, market, run, manage an effective chiropractor supervised weight loss program through your practice that's wildly profitable. I mean, you know, we do it. We have, we have a dedicated implementation. We have a director of implementation. Her job is to get on calls with every new office. It's broken down and go through, get them up to speed. We provide pretty much every piece of marketing, whether it's editable flyers, posters, social media ads, blog posts. Like, you know, when you look at I'm going to use a term that you and I are familiar with, and I'm sure you talked with your group about this. When you look at our value stack, it transcends buying a bottle of Chirothin and an instruction book, right? You know, like literally everything a person needs is there. Office forms, photograph and video releases, instruction books, videos that are designed to do the selling, training and scripting on when you introduce the idea of chiropractic to a weight loss client. Because on the topic of lateralization, if you market weight loss separately from chiropractic, and I know we're all chiropractors, but you will hear me, and if you go back through our private Facebook page, you'll see me post over and over and over. Don't make the mistake of marketing chiropractic and weight loss together.
No, you can't.
Weight loss is weight loss. Chiropractic is chiropractic.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I had people come into my office that said, oh, I thought this is a chiropractic office. I was coming here for weight loss. Oh, yeah, we're both.
Right.
Oh, well, if I would have known it was a chiropractic office, I would have never shown up. And listen, I understand, but you're here, so let's do a consultation because this is really effective. And we're going to be able to change your life. Oh, okay. If I would have had Strode Chiropractic on it instead of Chirothin Weight Loss Center of Chesterfield, Missouri on it, that person would have never hit the door. What I know is 70% of those people that show up from weight loss marketing with no mention of chiropractic on it, 70% of those people will not be they will not be existing chiropractic patients. So it's a great revenue source. So it's basically a whole nother lateral business
100%.
that fits perfectly, but it turns into a phenomenal source of business for your main hustle.
Yeah.
And because we have so many practices and we've had so many patients, we've perfected how you convert that weight loss patient into a chiropractic patient. Like, we know that it happened. The best time to do it is follow-up visit 4. And by the way, if people don't know, our protocol is 6 visits, 6 follow-up visits over a 6-week period. So it's kind of like a once a week. You introduce the idea of chiropractic on visit 4. We give you the training of if you want the most yeses, follow this system. If you want less yeses, do your own.
Yes.
Right. But 1,600 offices, 250,000 patients. We've kind of figured it out. So
love it, man.
Yeah. And then, it's super easy.
You did a better job than I would have. So I'm glad you did all that because the lateral doesn't have to be a separate, complete building, like chiropractors divide this stuff. When we do laterals, it means that the internal program and the marketing program is going to be a completely different machine because you want to attract a different audience for whatever it may be. Spinal decompression, weight loss, laser therapy, cool sculpting, cryotherapy, IV, regenerative medicine. I mean, whatever it is that you decide to do, which we're going to get into, is a completely different machine, hence the marketing program. And I heard you saying we built everything. Yes, you have. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
And even me with the success have probably only gone through 50% of the Google Drive, but
there's a lot there.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. And even with my program for chiropractors on how to do their marketing, I watch them watch the videos and they go through maybe 40% of it. And then, because they implement and they get it going. So for most of you listening right now, you're going to market to your patient base, your email list. Those of you that don't have an email list, I keep coaching you about this. You have to build your email list, because when you pull triggers like this, it's a click of a button and you auto reply a few times. And it's amazing how you get 10 new patients coming in. Wait a minute, you guys do weight loss? So that's the internal way. But then you guys help on the external way, which should be completely different than ABC chiropractic. It should be
100%.
And what happens is we have many marketing laterals in our office that we do. So our decompression, when they come in, they may not actually need decompression. They become a chiropractic patient.
Right.
It was the shiny new decompression table that got us there.
Right.
It's going to be the shiny new ChiroThin homeopathic drops that get these patients to your office. And another thing we don't give you credit enough is you are 100% dedicated to chiropractic. And it sounds like you will always be 100%, which gives you exclusivity to this program for being a chiropractor, which that was pretty cool too. Douglas Labs promised this a long time ago, and then boom, look what happened to them. Sold out to whoever they sold out.
Because they're not owned by, I think that's kind of, I think it's people that aren't chiropractors, in my opinion, don't really get chiropractors at their core.
No.
We, and as much as it sucks to say this, right? I hope I could say that. We are the bastard children of healthcare in the United States. Unless you're in that trench every day, or unless you've grown up and are in that trench every day, you really don't know. I've been told, I know all the guys that own the big companies, and I'm not going to name them, but there are people watching here. And if you go look at your shelf, I promise you have supplements from these companies. And I know the owners, right? We all know each other. And I've been told that I am probably one of the biggest fools in a nutrition, that as far as the vitamin space, because I refuse to sell outside of chiropractic. I refuse, even corporately, I refuse to put our products up on Amazon, right? And there's a really, really, really big company that we all know in chiropractic that recently, maybe in the last 4 to 6 months, created their own Amazon store. And they caught some backlash over it, right? And everything I hated about companies that I dealt with, I vowed not to do. And I hated companies that built their company on the backs of chiropractors. And then went, okay, well, now that we got it figured out, we're going to, dude, don't freaking use us as guinea pigs.
Yeah.
We deserve more than you're going to streamline everything. And then you're going to go, oh, okay, well, now that we have that, we're going to go do this. And the company that started doing that shall remain nameless, but everybody knows who it is. What they wound up having to tell their clients was, as well, we will never online charge less than a 10% markup over MSRP. And all their chiropractors went, oh, okay, well, that's great. But let me ask you this. You ever order Uber Eats?
Not often, but yeah.
Okay. Why do you do it?
I try not to, because I know all the local owners that we go to, so I try and pick up.
Okay. So let's not use you as an example, right?
Right.
Let's use the average chiropractor.
No, I know. Yeah, they're all Uber Eats, right?
Why would you go through Uber Eats, pay the $7 delivery service charge? Why would you get a $26 quarter pounder meal from McDonald's instead of just getting in your car and driving 5 minutes to eat toxic food and save and be able to do it for $9? It's convenience. So if I'm looking at a bottle of this is I did the math. Somebody was like, oh, well, they went. I'm like, let's do the math. That's my phrase, Enrico. It's do the math.
Right.
If a bottle of multivite is, I don't know, $35 MSRP, $40 MSRP, 10% is $4. Do you really think somebody is going to get in their car and they are going to sit in traffic, burn the gas, come to your office, pay you $40, get in their car, drive back home, sit in traffic? You really think somebody's going to do that to go through $4? Or are they going to click the buy now and have it in their front porch the next morning by 9 a.m.?
Right. No, you're right. The convenience thing, I mean, this is internal. So your nutraceutical program is going to be flagshipped right to your patient base as they
Right.
come in for appointments. You're going to talk about it. We know that, but why not? Why not have a store that you can distribute more in, which you guys also
Yes.
do as well. So
Right. And as because we know people do that, right? That's
yeah,
why we, at the very pre-COVID, we didn't let our clients we didn't have an option for our clients to be able to basically drop ship from our warehouse directly to the client, right? Well, I mean, COVID changed all that. We had to abase and abound. People are like, what should I do? Like, people can't come into my state closed my office down.
yeah.
But so that's why we really put the push on the tracker, which is the virtual patient management side, right? The dashboard. So you can do virtual patient management. It's all HIPAA compliant. You can go into and place an order instead of having what you would normally order for that patient shipped to your office. You can have it shipped straight to the patient. So, and we're seeing more of that as time evolves as well. So we just really try to make it as easy as possible for chiropractors and supporting them in their role to help as many sick people as possible and be as financially profitable as possible. So,
Yeah. Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, so what are 3 tips for chiropractors listening to get in touch with you if they're curious about this? And how do they know they're ready? Because sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're
right,
so scattered in your practice right now. Maybe you're new. Maybe you're 1 year into practice
right,
and you're trying to build a patient base. Like,
right.
tell us what your ideal chiropractor is that onboards that does really well.
Honestly, here's the thing. If you see 20 new patients a month or more, and you follow the systems, if you see 20, 10 of them show up, 11 of them show up wanting to lose weight. If you follow our systems, you're going to minimally close 50% of those. Okay. Our average, we know what our average client charges in the United States, right? So, what I can tell you is if you close 5 a month at the lowest rate, that's an extra $5,000 cash. Now, $5,000 doesn't make, it means more to some people than it does to others.
Mhm.
But because things are because weight loss and chiropractic are so intimately connected, you can use it to build a practice. Honestly, you can really use it to build a practice, or you can use it for your existing patients, or you can do both. So, like, if you don't have the revenue or if you don't have the income to spend a giant, a good sized marketing budget, you're going to start by doing it in office, right?
Yeah.
Now, whether or not if you're getting 2 or 3, if you're new and you're getting 3 new patients a month, honestly, probably not the right time for you. I would say 15 to 20 new patients a month minimum, because the scale of economy is there, right?
Yeah.
That scale of economy is there. You're going to get the referrals. You're going to convert them from weight loss into chiropractic and chiropractic into weight loss. That money, that revenue is straight up there, hands down, all day, every day, right? As far as the ideal practice, Enrico, we have people from, I'm going to say, I don't like the term straights and mixers, right? But we have clients of ours that run, believe it or not, everything from super straight chiropractors that this is the only thing they do other than adjust C1, to some of the top. Yeah, okay, I didn't know that, right? And then we have literally some of the top functional med practitioners, that are chiropractors, in the world that use this protocol as their weight loss protocol for their patients. And so like it really, like, if you're a chiropractor and your goal is to get people better faster, keep them better longer, save them time, save them money, while getting them back to living the life that they want and deserve, then you're the client for us. But you're looking for something that you don't have to figure out on your own. Because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, based
That's
upon
why I joined on. I had no time to figure this stuff on my
no, just
own.
like, give me a system that
It
works.
worked out. I mean, yeah, and that's what you guys do. We should have started like that. Hey,
Yeah,
do you want a cookie cutter thing that you can do? This is it. This for sure.
yeah,
It's turned into a 6-figure business for us.
that's awesome.
And that was we started in 2020. So we're
Yeah,
just over 2 years of doing it. And that's why you're on my show, because
Yeah,
it
thank
works.
you.
I'm not going to waste these chiropractors' time with things that don't work. But yeah, hopefully that opens up your minds about laterals and what some possible ideas are. This is a great one. Like Jason said, it just goes hand in hand because your patients are coming in with this issue. Don't be shy to take care of their health. And I was
Right.
telling Jason before in the pre-interview that for me it was I didn't notice this. People who needed to lose like 100 pounds, I wouldn't tell them. I tried to do chiropractic. I try and get them
Right.
stretching. But after I did the program and, I lost 30 pounds in 6 weeks, I was like, this was easy. And then I was like, man, I feel like my joints feel better. I got to tell them. I'm disservicing them by not telling them. So I'd be like, hey, do you want to? These patients become your champions for your practice. They
Sure.
love you. They come to every event. Every time we do a chirothon thing, Tom shows up every time I'm like, you don't have to be here every time, Tom. He's like, I love it because the person who came before me told his story and I joined up, and I want to be that for every time I come like this. So he's super cool. But thank you so much for your time. If you need anything, you can contact Jason, Chirothin, Chiro Nutraceutical. He's all over the internet, Facebook.
Chirothin.com, chirothin.com, chirothin.com.
Yeah.
And as Enrico said, only chiropractors. That's it.
Yeah.
No products on Amazon, no retail, no big box store. Only patients. Patients will only be able to get our products through your office, basically through chiropractic offices.
Yeah, you contact Jason. If you're interested, you sign up, you get the training, and you're ready to rock and roll. You just start telling your patients what to do. So thank you so much, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Let's get together soon. We're right down the road from each other.
We are, yes.
Hey, did my electrician come see you?
I'm going to have to double check.
Steve?
I got to double check.
He said, I gave him your info, and he said the guy I sent him to was really helping him. So
he must have. Yeah.
Yeah. So he tried somebody else. He came in. He's like, oh, my chiropractor's horrible. I'm like, did you go see my guy? He was like, no. I'm like, so yeah, you were close to him. So
nice.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.